Greetings, my dearest friend. You know me as the sorceress of science, the woman who unlocked the atom's deepest secrets, the pioneer who defied expectation and prejudice. But before I was a Nobel laureate, I was merely a girl born into a storm of political oppression, shaped by loss, by relentless study, and by a hunger for knowledge greater than any woman before me dared to dream. Come, let me tell you the truth of it all, from Warsaw's shadows to Paris's laboratories, from invisible rays to enduring legacy. This is my life. My name is Marie Skłodowska-Curie, and this is my life as I lived it. The daughter of the mind. I was born on the 7th of November, 1867, in Warsaw, then a part of partitioned Poland under Russian rule. My father, a math and physics teacher. My mother, a talented musician. They prayed for a future free from tyranny. Instead, they got me, Maria, daughter of an occupied nation, of parents who instilled a love for learning amidst oppression. My birth was met not with celebration, but with the silent weight of a nation yearning for freedom. My mother, brilliant and devoted, had gambled everything on raising her children with a spirit of defiance. When she passed away when I was 10, and my beloved sister before her, my fate was sealed. I would live for knowledge. From that moment, I became a quiet rebel in the eyes of the occupiers, stripped of easy opportunity and thrust into a perilous world of self-reliance. But I remembered their fierce intellect, their unyielding spirit. I would carry them with me all my life. The forge of intellect. If I could not attend university in my own land, I would build my own education. My resolve saw to it that I pursued knowledge like no other woman of my time. I devoured physics and mathematics, learned French, studied chemistry, and even taught myself. The Flying University, an underground institution, nurtured my mind. My sister Bronia and I made a solemn pact. We would support each other to study abroad. I understood early that knowledge was my shield. While others planned marriages and social lives, I planned experiments. For in a world where women were denied classrooms, I would find my laboratory, the trials of a starving student. My early 20s were spent in the humble garret rooms of Paris, a world away from my family. After years of saving, I joined my sister in the household of French academia. My beloved Sorbonne. I would spend dawn to dusk in lecture halls, often faint from hunger, utterly absorbed. Though I was only 24, I sensed something profound, something awaiting discovery in the very fabric of matter. When the cold gripped me, when food was scarce, I persisted. My solitary existence and constant study nearly broke me. From that ordeal I learned to trust my own convictions, to let my work speak, and to guard my focus as I would a precious element. Pierre, partner, pioneer. When Henri Becquerel discovered mysterious rays from uranium, the crown of scientific inquiry passed into a new era. In 1895, I married Pierre Curie, a brilliant physicist, a gentle soul. It was not merely a marriage, but a partnership forged in shared scientific passion. As our shared work deepened, the weight of the unknown pressed upon us. I was a woman in a man's scientific world, a foreign student studying a phenomenon that defied explanation. The first thing I did, I plunged into the problem of uranium rays, suspecting that the emission of these rays was an atomic property. I called it radioactivity, not weakness, but the very essence of transformation. Every day they asked me to simplify, but I would not be deterred by any doubt. Not a lack of resources, not even the unknown. The invisible rays, polonium and radium. Oh, how they marveled. The elusive rays, the incredible energy, the very heart of matter, but none yet grasped the source. Why? Because we were already married to the elements themselves. That is not to say I did not love. Our two daughters, Irene and Eve, were my closest companions and perhaps my greatest joy. But the tireless work in our makeshift shed laboratory, processing tons of pitch blende, took precedence. To cease our search would be to lose the secret, to make our effort a mere curiosity. And so I remained the relentless purifier, more explorer than mother, more scientist than socialite, the unseen toll, price of discovery. If I had a mirror across the scientific establishment, it was the pervasive skepticism about our audacious claims. Unseen rays, new elements. It challenged too much. When the Nobel Prize in Physics came in 1903, it was initially offered only to Pierre and Becquerel. But Pierre, my steadfast partner, insisted on my inclusion. He understood the nature of my conspiracy to unveil the atom's truth. For years, the insidious effects of radiation would go unacknowledged. And then came Pierre's tragic death in 1906. I wept. He had been my partner, my equal, but the science came first. I took his place at the Sorbonne, the first woman to hold such a position. The shadow of Paris, fame and betrayal, the great test of my personal resilience came in 1911. Having successfully isolated pure radium and earned a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, making me the only person to win 2 Nobels in different fields. A storm erupted. They said my character was flawed, questioning my integrity due to a personal relationship. But I rode to the Swedish Academy and held my head high. I allowed my work to speak. I believe that the scientific facts, which I have presented here, can give a better response than any speech. The truth favored me. The whispers scattered. Science triumphed. And so did I. War's cruel call, the petites Curies. After my second Nobel, my legend grew. They called it the Radium Age, a time of unprecedented scientific discovery and medical application. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 brought a new purpose. My court became the hospitals and battlefields, a place of urgent need for my discoveries. Yet I was often alone, driving my petite Curies, mobile X-ray units, to the front lines, teaching doctors and nurses how to use this new technology. My face lined with fatigue, my hands worn, but I saw only the lives I could save. I was not merely a scientist, I was a lifeline. The radiant age, a legacy illuminated. In the final years, I buried those dearest to me and felt the slow decay of my own body. My eyes clouded, my limbs weakened, but my will to push the boundaries of knowledge did not. I traveled the world, sleepless, advocating for science, raising funds for my institutes in Paris and Warsaw. The vibrant energy of my youth had faded, replaced by whispers of the atomic future and the shadows of my own declining health, a direct consequence of the elements I held so dear. On July 4th, 1934, I lay still. I had researched and led for over 40 years. I had brought understanding, healing, and inspiration to the world. And when I died, I passed the torch to a new generation, including my daughter Irene, who would continue to unravel the atom's mysteries, unifying the family of science at last. My immortal light. They buried me in the Pantheon in Paris, beside my beloved Pierre. How strange that we, so intertwined in life and discovery, should lie together in this sacred place. But I left behind something greater than personal fame, a universe transformed. I was not born to simply dream. I was not born to merely discover, but I did both. I was Marie Skłodowska-Curie. I was a light in the darkness. And that's another chapter from the pages of history. Proof that the past is filled with legends, leaders, and visionaries who shaped the world we live in today. But history is far from over. There are still so many incredible stories to uncover. So if you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to History's Icons for more legendary tales. Who or what should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. Your idea might be the next great story we bring to life. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode of History's Icons, where the past comes to life.